Keep educating yourselves, because that is the path that you've chosen. But know that there is so much more available to you than what you can know with your physical human mind. Those of you who are awake have a voice, and a voice that needs to be heard. You are living in a time now where it is not just a few who have a voice within the New Age and spiritual community. All of you can speak up and be teachers and leaders for humanity. We acknowledge you for who you really are, because it's the only way that it serves us to see you, and we know that we also know that nothing there on earth is really ever a mistake. Welcome to the Reality Revolution. What a perfect day to read some incredible channelings from the creators. The creators are a group of 12th dimensional beings channeled by Daniel Scranton. You can find these channelings on his website at danielscranton.com. These channels are focused on ascension, reality creation, our shift into the new earth, and a variety of other topics that are very relevant to what is happening right now in this moment. These are very recent channelings. We cover a variety of topics, including what is your purpose and how do you find it, your subconscious mind and dormant DNA, is technology to be avoided by the awakened, Pleiadian starseeds, who you are really, humankind, but what if you fail, questions to ask yourselves right now, looking to the archangels, angels, and us, your God self in the new earth, becoming God, and so much more. What is your purpose, and how do you find it? We are here for you. We are the creators. We are a 12th dimensional collective of non-physical beings, and we are here to help. We are always interested in helping you to seek out that which will fulfill your life's purpose. We are here to remind you at times that you are creating this life. Now that you are awake, you do not have to live out some preordained purpose for your life, but rather you get to determine what the purpose is and then move towards the fulfillment of what purpose you choose to have for your life. Now, looking at life in a very human way, you would think that you only have so many years to get it all done. But looking at your life from the picture of the eternal and infinite self that you truly are, you realize you have all the time in the world and in the universe. In fact, you realize that nothing actually has to get done. But you also recognize that you are there, and you might as well have some experiences. You might as well do more than just run out the clock until your time is up in this lifetime. And so the question then comes into play: is it nature or is it nurture? In other words, do you feel drawn to certain activities, certain experiences, and certain people because it was preordained that you would move in those directions? Or are some of your proclivities developed through time? You are there, and your experiences that you have while you are there. Both play a part, of course. Some of you come in with certain gifts and certain interests, and then you wonder what you're supposed to do with those gifts or how to monetize those interests. And it is important for you to consider these things, but it is also most important for you to just pursue them, and pursue them with reckless abandon. When you access more of your inner child and you take play more seriously, you recognize that as a child, you would create without limitation. You would create without giving a second thought to what you were creating or what you would do with it. And that is the way to pursue your interest in this lifetime and create for yourselves a fulfillment of your life's purpose. Now, when you're denying something that is inside of you and you continue to deny its existence, then yes, you may get a wake-up call. And in that wake-up call, you may be told that you're not fulfilling your mission in life. We know that many people have those experiences, but it does not mean that they are only supposed to do those things because an outside force thinks they are. When someone has an impulse to do something and they don't follow through with it, then they are denying themselves their truest expression of self. And that is something that they need to change in order to make perfect use of a lifetime. So you see, the purpose, the mission was not preordained, and you are not there to discover what it is by looking under every rock for it. But rather, you are there to determine for yourself what your mission is, and listen to the guidance that's coming to you from within and nudging you towards it in every waking moment. And when you fulfill that mission, that purpose, you may feel a sense of satisfaction and then move on to another one. So you see, it's not even that you only have one purpose for your life, just like you don't just have one life. Very good. We are the creators. We love you very much. Your subconscious mind and dormant DNA. We are the creators. We are a 12th dimensional collective of non-physical beings. We are here to help. You're making great progress there on Earth as you access more of your dormant DNA, more of your subconscious minds, more of your historical records of life on Earth. As you discover more of who you have been physically and who you are physically, that then helps you to expand your consciousness and your knowing of who you have been and who you are spiritually as a soul, as a consciousness, as an oversoul. You do tend to need to see physical evidence first. You do tend to want to experience something in the physical realm before you're open to experiencing it as a being of consciousness. And that is because you have been physically oriented for so long. And however you get there doesn't really matter. We just wanted to point that out to you. You've accessed a lot of information now that has helped you to expand your sense of self out in all directions and all times. And now is the time for you to expand your sense of self non-physically. It is time for you to awaken to the truth that you are an aspect of Source, and therefore you are so much more than your other selves in physical form. You're so much more than just being a part of an ET lineage, and your history there on planet Earth pales in comparison to your histories as souls who exist even beyond this universe. You are more than this universe is, and that can be hard to swallow for the average human who doesn't have any physical evidence to prove that. But continue to open your eyes and open your mind so that you will eventually open your hearts and feel for the truth of who you really are, so you can know exponentially that you are an aspect of Source and therefore an infinite and eternal unconditional love. Now that you know more, you can feel for more. And when you feel for more, you will also be able to experience more. Because of the vibration you will be tapping into as you expand your feelings out to tell you more viscerally who and what you really are as a being, as a collective consciousness that is so much more than all your physical lives put together. Keep educating yourselves, because that is the path that you've chosen. But know that there's so much more available to you than what you can know with your physical human mind. And get curious about what you can feel and when you can go into the infinite chamber of the center of your heart. We are the creators, and we love you very much. Is technology to be avoided by the awakened? We are here for you. We are the creators. We are a 12th dimensional collective of non-physical beings, and we are here to help. You are expressing yourselves in new and interesting ways all the time, and you do have your technology to thank for that. Those of you who are awake spiritually sometimes do shy away from technology or see it as something that is taking over and perhaps not the best choice for people to engage with. However, there is always a positive purpose and a good use that anything can be put to. Therefore, when you think about all the various ways that you have of expressing yourselves, do include the technological ways, and think about how you would like to utilize this co-creation of yours to express yourself as an individual. It is much easier than it ever has been before to create a movie or a series of shows. It is much easier than it ever has been before to create music. You can express yourselves through writing and post your writings anywhere. You don't have to wait for a publisher or a newspaper or a magazine to deem your writing worthy of being seen by others. You have a myriad of ways of projecting what it is that's inside of you and out. And there are so many ways to make your self-expression available to the world. And we encourage you to do so because we know that you're all there to be you. Being yourself is so important to fulfilling your purpose there on Earth. You didn't go to planet Earth to fulfill someone else's purpose for you. You went to planet Earth to experience it and know yourself better through the experiences that you can only have there. But then you also were meant to get inspired and to create from those experiences. In order for Source to know itself fully and completely, you must exist. And the more of yourself that you express, the more you're allowing Source to know itself fully and completely. Therefore, do not demonize your social media or any other forms of technology that you have out there, because there is always a good purpose for it that can be utilized from and by those of you who are awake. Those of you who are awake have a voice, and a voice that needs to be heard. You are living in a time now where it is not just a few who have a voice within the New Age and spiritual community. All of you can speak up and be teachers and leaders for humanity. And as we said, you have so many tools to use. They are there for you, created by you. Listen to that impulse, to that instinct that comes from within you, that's telling you to post that post or create that video. And don't care about what anyone else thinks. Only care about what your reaction is to what you create. If it resonates and speaks to you, then it will speak to others, and they will benefit from your use of that wonderful technology of yours. Very good. We are the creators, and we love you very much. Pleiadian starseeds, who are you really? We are the creators. We are a 12th dimensional collective of non-physical beings. We are here to help. In your discovery of more of who you are, you may have developed a tendency to become more fascinated by who you were in other lifetimes, in other dimensions, and in other star systems than you are by exploring who you are in the here and now. And it's understandable because those other aspects of you are different. They are new to you. It is a novel experience to explore them, and it helps you to expand out your sense of self, and that's a good thing, and it's a healthy thing. But it can also limit you in a variety of ways to do this when you start to think of yourself as only a Pleiadian starseed, or you start to think of yourself as having had more importance in a lifetime when you were in Egypt and you were a high priest or high priestess. Those other experiences are for you to draw from and integrate into this self that you are. But you are also helping them by living what you are living in the here and now. Even if to you, your life doesn't seem that interesting or exciting by comparison. It is interesting and exciting to them because you are on the verge of extraterrestrial contact for the entire planet, and you're on the verge of shifting your consciousness to a 5th dimensional frequency range. You are also awakened, and you continue to add more knowledge to your knowledge base, and so from other perspectives, you are quite interesting. And there's so much that you have decided to tackle, to take on in this lifetime, that the other aspects of you are really quite interested in seeing exactly how you're going to face that financial challenge, that relationship challenge, or that health challenge. Those are the ways you have chosen to grow in this life, and those other aspects of you have chosen to grow in other ways. They understand that there is value to them in connecting to you, but they don't lose their identity in doing so. And we would invite you to do the same. See yourself in this human form, living this life that you are living, as being just as important as the 7th dimensional Syrian, who is part of a council that is helping to create peace agreements for all sectors of the galaxy. You can see yourself ultimately as an aspect of Source of all that is, and therefore not even get so caught up in the details of those other lives, because you are everything, and you will experience everything. And what's most important in all of this is the way you feel yourself growing and expanding. It is not important how you identify in the moment. You don't have to think so much about what you should call yourself because people feel you, and that is what is most important to them. And if you take some time to feel into yourself every day and reacquaint yourself with that feeling that always exists inside of you because it is you, then you will have the most grandiose sense of self that you can have. But it won't be a delusion of grandeur. It will be because you have tapped into the truth of who you are. We are the creators. We love you very much. Humankind, but what if you fail? We are the creators. We are a 12th dimensional collective of non-physical beings, and we are here to help. We know that you all struggle from time to time with seeing yourselves as you truly are. And we know that one of the reasons why you do this is because you do not succeed at everything that you attempt to do. When you believe that you need to be perfect in every way, you are denying yourselves the opportunity for growth. In other words, you cannot grow if you're already perfect and you do everything perfectly. But you want to grow and you need to grow, and your life's purpose is to grow, and therefore we invite you to cut yourself some slack. You weren't ever supposed to do everything the right way the first time. And while you may be able to envision a more perfect life, if you had been able to do everything the right way the first time, you also, deep down inside, want to have a life that feels incomplete, because then that gives you a reason to keep living. Now, of course, deep down inside, you are perfect and becoming more perfect in every single moment. And you are not measuring your perfection by the choices you've made or your successes or failures. You just know yourself to be the perfect expression of source energy that you were created to be, and there is no reason for you to question it. While in human form, you may question it at every turn because you don't measure your source energy-ness by the love that you're capable of feeling. Now, we know that some of you do have a challenging time feeling that love, but we want you all to at least acknowledge that you have the capacity to feel it. We want you all to get more interested in feeling the love that you truly are. You will eventually get there if you put your mind to it. You will eventually know yourself as a source energy being through the love that you feel if you make it a top priority. Of course, many of you have to move through a lot of other feelings to get to that warm, gooey center, but we are here to assure you that the warm, gooey center is within each and every one of you, and it is worth trudging through the fear, the anger, the hate, and the sadness to get to. Remember that as you move through those lower vibrational emotional states, you are releasing them. You are not reinforcing them, and you are not creating your reality with them. You are simply acknowledging that they are there. They have been denied, ignored, or suppressed, and it's time to move through them so that you can ultimately feel the truth of who and what you really are, vibrating at your very core, reminding you of the perfection that you were created in and that you always have been. And when you start to feel that love that you truly are emanating out in all directions, then everything you do is filled with source energy's love. And therefore, it is perfect no matter what it is. Remember that the journey is about going home to source, moving closer to the love that we all are, and let everything else that you do along the way be for the purpose of fun. We are the creators, and we love you very much. The question to ask yourselves right now: we are the creators. We are a 12th dimensional collective of non-physical beings, and we are here to help. We know that you are seeking to grow, to expand, and to evolve, and we know that each of you has chosen a different way in which to do that. When you look at your life, do you ask yourself the question, how is this meant to get me to grow, to evolve, and to expand? Because every creation of yours is meant to do just that, and you will take the growth, the expansion, and the evolution, and you look for it and surrender into it. You may not be able to figure it all out in the earliest stages of doing this, but you will get clearer. More clarity will come to you because of this pursuit. You are able to take the growth, the expansion, and the evolution simply by surrendering to everything as it is. In that state of surrender, you have dropped resistance, and in the dropping of your resistance, you can relax and let in all that has been asked for by you as a result of the life you have been living. You grow as soon as you accept. You evolve as soon as you drop resistance, and you expand as soon as you allow yourselves to do so. These things do not happen because of your goals and your accomplishments and endeavors coming to fruition for you. They come because of you becoming more of who you really are. They come because in that moment, you will have merged with more of the true self, the whole self, the source energy self that you truly are. You see, life is a lot easier than many of you make it out to be. It's a lot simpler than the way it has been packaged and sold to you. You don't have to do so much that a statue will be erected in your honor someday. As you accept yourself as you are in this very moment, so much good will happen, and so many things can happen for you you haven't been allowing to happen through that lack of acceptance. Now, we talk about accepting everyone else as they are and accepting the conditions of the world and the circumstances of your lives. But we also want you to know that you're accepting you as you are right now is the simplest and easiest way for you to grow and expand exponentially. All the things that you do, all the things that you accomplish, those are for the expression of the joy that you are deep down inside. Those are the experiences you have as the runoff, the byproduct of your expansion. They are meant to leave a mark, but a vibrational mark, on the world. They are meant to inspire others to their own expansion. But those accomplishments are not the purpose of life on earth, which many of you have come to realize is an illusion, it is a dream. Even though something appears to be solid and you experience it as solid, that doesn't make it more real than your non-physical essence, which is an aspect of source energy. Relax and know that everything will get done that needs to get done, and you don't always have to be the one who does what needs to get done. Even if it is on your to-do list right now, let go and let in more of what you have asked for. Let your helpers do what they do and listen to your heart. Feel for the peaceful expansion that happens as you grow outward from your heart center. And when you do these things, you will look back at your life someday and you will see it as a success. You will see that you completed everything that you truly wanted to do, and you will know that everything else was just about having an experience that would help you to get clearer about who you are or what you wanted to create. And so no time is ever lost or wasted, and everyone's life has more meaning than you could possibly imagine. We are the creators, and we love you very much. Looking to the archangels and us, we are the creators. We are a 12th dimensional collective of non-physical beings, and we are here to help. We seek communion with as many of you who are willing to connect, and we seek it because we know it serves you. In other words, the more you open yourselves to that which is higher dimensional and high frequency, the more you become the divine beings of light and love that you truly are. And when we see you being the divine beings of light and love that you truly are there on earth, we feel joy, we feel satisfaction, and we feel fulfillment. It is our primary objective to elevate the consciousness there on planet Earth so that you can all live in harmony with one another and with Mother Earth herself. We know that you have other desires as well, and those desires also serve in the expansion of consciousness that is all about. So don't worry about the fact that you have desires that are separate from that overall desire that you have for humanity to live in harmony with each other and with the planet. Do not think for a moment that you are letting everyone down by having your desire to be in a romantic relationship or finish a marathon or make a certain amount of money in a year. Those goals and those desires create an expansion that you will someday benefit from and that we all benefit from right away. You like challenges and you like raising the stakes on yourselves, and so you do tend to put yourselves in predicaments, in challenges, in situations where your desire may run in conflict with someone else's desire. And then the two of you have that option of finding a harmonious way to deal with that situation. Or you can always choose the option of trying to defeat the other so that you can have what you want while triumphing over the other person who appears to be giving you a hard time. Those conflicts and those challenges are always there by agreement. And they are there because at the soul level, You know that challenges and conflicts serve you, and that you will grow in who you really are by facing them. It is a good idea to let go of the notion that you're supposed to be living a perfect life where everyone comes your way effortlessly. You may have those experiences from time to time, and you will enjoy them, but you will also look back at your past from certain points in your life, and you will know that the challenge served you so much more than when you were on easy street. In other words, the challenge brought you to a higher level of consciousness, brought you more of a sense of community, connection, and an understanding of who you really are as a source energy being. It is only at that level of the true self, the source self, that you're able to handle the challenge and rise above it. Now we know that when you are in those times of crisis, when you have hit rock bottom, or when you have feelings of despair, you are more likely to see those like us out for communion. You're more likely to look at the angels and the archangels and helpers you have in the higher realms because you recognize you need that assistance. And in those moments, you often think of yourselves as the divine beings of light and love that you are. We come to remind you of who you are. We set the vibrational tone of it and invite you to it. And when you see the light, most of you come towards it. And you then give us all the credit for helping you raise you up, but you had to get that rock bottom point to reach out in faith to that which you hoped or believed existed. You had to let us in. And when you let us in, beautiful things happen for you and for all of humankind. We're not just talking about us as the creators. We're talking about all who are in the non-physical, as we are seeking to help you to become more of who and what you really are. Your God self and the new earth. We are here for you. We are the creators. We are a 12th dimensional collective of non-physical beings, and we are here to help. We acknowledge you in ways that you almost never acknowledge yourselves, because we know someone has to do it. And while you are eternal, infinite beings of unconditional love, you often do not think of yourselves in those ways. You need constant reminders from above to take you out of this illusion and to bring you back into your true creaturehood. Your God self is what we call that, and your God self is the aspect of you that you sometimes do acknowledge, but only really pay lip service to. In other words, how many times throughout the course of your day would you say that you're operating from that knowing of yourself as your God self? Certainly there are certain activities that you partake in that remind you of this true nature of the self. And certainly there are moments when you're meditating or with loved ones that you can start to move in the direction of that full knowing. What if you did everything with the knowing of the self as the God self? How would that change your life? How would that change the way you went about doing anything and everything? We acknowledge you for who you really are, because it's the only way that it serves us to see you, and we know that we also know that nothing there on earth is really ever a mistake. Nothing is an aberration. Nothing needs to be wiped off the face of the earth, and we understand that everyone is playing a role. We also know that everything is changing, and everyone and everything is getting closer to the source from which we all emerge. Everything, we have complete confidence that not only will you know yourselves fully as your God selves, but you will begin to operate in that way as well. When you think of creating your reality, for example, if you think about it from the perspective of the God self, then you know that you want to create already is. You know that you don't have to bend over backwards or struggle or prove your worthiness through lots and lots of action to make it be. You know that it is, and you are so confident that it is that you can go on living your life as your God self would. When you understand that the time lag in between you creating something and you experiencing it is necessary to give you that experience, then you step into the full knowing that you will experience what you have just created in due time. And in the meantime, there are plenty of other creations around you for you to enjoy. When you operate as the God self, you see others as perfect, just as they are. You see others as the gods that they are, and you do not project negative attributes onto them. You do not assume the worst of them, and certainly you do not assume that they are stagnant or incapable of growth. Everyone not only is capable of growth, but everyone is doing it. Because if they aren't, they must check out this reality. This shift is happening, and only those who are willing to grow will stay and enjoy the rest of the ride. Now, as you consider what it means to you to be your God self, we recommend that you do so from that space of acknowledging that this is not placing you higher than anyone else, but it is your way of showing others the way to acknowledging and being their true selves and operating in the world as such. When everyone around you is doing so, you will know that you have achieved something that very few people throughout history have achieved. And you can rest assured that you will be living in a world where everyone eventually will know who they really are and treat others and the planet and the animals as they really are. That's simply the world you are co-creating right now. Very good. We are the creators and we love you very much. Becoming God. We are here for you. We are the creators. We are a 12th dimensional collective of non-physical beings, and we are here to help. We see you in your majestic evolution, and we see ourselves. We know that the ride you are on is also our ride, and that is one of the many reasons why we seek to help you. We want you to know how much you are growing and evolving in each and every moment you are there. You are becoming more precise creators by being there on Earth, where you have stacked the deck against yourselves in so many ways. You've made it more challenging to manifest the reality you want to experience, because one of the experiences you really wanted to have there on Earth was and is faith. You wanted to see if you could believe in something that you could not see, feel, hear, taste, and touch. That is why faith is spoken about so much when it comes to your religions. You've created a God that is out there somewhere, and you have, for the most part, been unable to experience while in physical form, and that requires faith of you. And many people are willing to put their faith in God, but you also wanted to be able to put faith in yourselves as creators and manifestors, and that is why you have the time lag in between what you ask for, what you create, what you get to experience. You have to then believe that it's coming, and for some, they have decided that they will believe it is coming because they are praying to the right God. They are good in God's eyes, and therefore they deserve to receive the answered prayers. And that has been one way to go about experiencing faith. In other words, you are told what the rules are, you follow the rules, you get what you want on Earth, or perhaps after you die, but either way, you've got it covered. But for those of you who want to live right now, in joy and in abundance, with freedom and with creativity, you understand you are there to bring heaven to earth, and you are there to experience all that you want to experience while in the flesh and by believing in yourselves and in the laws of the universe. If you truly believe that what you put out there in terms of a request will come back to you in the form of a manifestation, then you can go live your life happily ever after in faith. If you don't trust and truly have faith that your creations are yours and that they are coming, then you will be anxious, you'll be in doubt. You might even live in fear, and you will put off living a life of joy, freedom, and creativity. You will withhold your love. You will not be yourself because you are love. And so in order to really demonstrate your faith, you must be unconditional in your love of life. And when you do that, you are that God that you once prayed to, and not in a way that is blasphemous. You are there to merge with everything, to become one with the all that is, and to live your lives accordingly as part of the plan of existence. But you must believe that you are what we say you are. And the way we know it is true is because when we say it to you, you feel the resonance. You feel how good you feel to hear those words. And that's what we want you to put your faith in as well. Put your faith in yourselves, in your feelings, and in the laws of the universe, and everything will work out for you and for all of humanity. We are the creators, and we love you very much. This set of channelings really covers a lot of different topics, and most importantly, we begin with purpose. I talk to a lot of people that are seeking out their purpose, that feel this desire to find their purpose, and the creators are making an important point. What's great about our life in 3D on the planet now is that we're not looking for our purpose, we're creating our purpose. It's not that it's under a rock somewhere. We are finding our purpose through our path. We can choose our purpose. They mentioned that our DNA is awakening, that it's been dormant, and it's time for us to awaken to the truth that we are an aspect of Source. It's much more than just being a part of some sort of ET lineage, that there is something within us that is awakening, that will change everything. They asked the question if technology should be avoided, if it's a bad thing for spirituality. And they're saying that it's not. The world is an expression of our consciousness, and technology can always aid us. It can always be of assistance to us at any level of consciousness. They asked the question about Pleiadian star seeds and who you really are. And the point that they're making is we have been everything that you can imagine through many, many different lifetimes. And there's no need for us to identify as a particular starseed of a particular ET lineage. All of us come from different lineages, but what is most important is to be focused on who we are now in this moment. That gives us greater power. They asked the question about what if we fail? And it is impossible for us to fail. There will be no failing as long as we become aware that we are Source energy. Love is what we truly are, and we will get there if we put our minds to it. We will merge and become love. That is the highest vibrational state that we can become, and that is what we're moving towards. There's many other different topics that the creators discussed, and I'll definitely cover more of these channelings. They have a different flavor, a different vibration than the Arcturian Council. I'd love for you to discuss that in the comments. Tell me your favorite parts of this particular channeling. I'm sending you all my light, all my love. I am seeing you in the deepest parts of my heart as prosperous, joyful, happy, in every way, shape, and form. I want to thank you for the opportunity to read these words and to share this time with me. I'm eternally grateful to be in your presence, the very presence of God Himself. And welcome to the Reality Revolution.